Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the road trip for Manchester United taking on Arsenal at the Emirates. It is the forbidden fixture. I hate this game. I hate going to the Emirates. We don't travel well there. They're in fine form. All the goals are flying in. But, what's the point in turning up if we don't think we can win? What's the point? We have to believe. Believe. Double believe. Rashi. Please, give us something. Oh, this is a big game, man. It's our biggest test so far under Ruben Amorim. We know that. And he's been speaking so well in his presses, saying about how he knows that, listen, the bump's going to come. The storm will come. He's kind of prepping it so that, you know, if we lose, it ain't that deep. But we know our team, and we know that this may be a step too far too soon for this team. But we've got positives of our own, and it is important that we think about them. I'm going to talk about the positives and the negatives, but we've got to start with the positives because we are in a little bit of good form in terms of, you know, we're third in the form table in the league right now. And it hasn't been for the whole season, of course not, but we haven't lost since that game in October against West Ham, which, you know, we shouldn't have lost. But since then, we've built some confidence in terms of, can't say we've turned the corner, but in terms of results, we haven't lost in a while. So that's something that the players will be confident about. We've got some players in some good form. Obviously, Ahmad has been outstanding. Mazraoui has been outstanding. Bruno's back in the goals and assists. You know, you've got goals to Rasmus Højlund, so he's confident. And most importantly, I say most importantly, it's important that they're all back in it. Rashford has got some confidence as well, hitting the back of the net and knowing where the goal is. And that's positive. That's positive. You can see our idea. You know, we've got these three centre halves with the wing back, so we're quite secure. We look a little bit more compact. That's a positive, and the players are trying to buy into it. That's a positive. And Ruben Amorim hasn't lost a game yet. So these are all the positives that we got to look at. Ugarte's starting to come into his own. You know, so these are good things. But in terms of tonight, we're going to need more than this. We're going to need more than those positives to get a result. Not just to get a result, but to beat Arsenal. It's a different proposition. It's a different ask. They're in great form. They've got all their players back. They've got the bit between their teeth. It's at the Emirates, and we know how difficult it is to play there. And we've got a lot of teething problems in our system. You know, when we're moving the ball across the back, we do tend to move it quite slowly whilst we're trying to work this thing out. There are periods in the games where we suffer a little bit, where we're not keeping the ball very well. We've been susceptible to a few counter-attacks. The press hasn't been quite right, so the opposition can break the lines and be bearing down on our goal. That happened against Ipswich. That happened against Bodo Glimt. And it happened against Everton. We can't, you know, shy away from those things. And if those situations and those moments happen against a team like Arsenal, well, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And that's where I really do worry about this game. And also the selection headache. Like listen, it's very difficult for us to predict the Ruben Amorim starting 11 in general because it's only been his third. He's only played 3 games, and each time he's had to make so many changes because of injuries, because of, you know, players needing to you know, he needs to have a look at some players, all of the players, to work out who can play in the system and who can't. So he's got to find his team, and the games that come in every, you know, 3 or 4 days. So a mixture of all of those things have meant that it's very difficult for us to predict the starting 11. And it's going to be the same again tonight. I don't think it's going to be easy. It's not easy for us to predict the starting 11. There's no Luke Shaw now. And look, I did the morning show earlier with Owen, and we knew it was going to happen. You do feel sorry for him on a personal, because the human side of it is that he doesn't want to be injured. He doesn't want to be going into this game, you know what I mean, not being able to play. He doesn't want to not be able to play football. But at the same time, from a fan perspective or a club perspective, it's the club's fault. Like, we knew this was going to happen, and Luke Shaw's going to keep having these problems. And blame Man United. You know, we kept giving him contracts. We've stood by him and made decisions to keep him at the club, and this is what happens. You almost get what you pay for. Do you know what I'm saying? And we paid for someone who's very injury prone and hasn't been able to turn it around, and we knew that, and we didn't get a left back or left wing back in the summer, and so we have to suffer again. That means that, you know, you're looking at the likes of Lenny Yoro or Harry Maguire now probably having to come in unless we see something different. Yoro, that's a tough ask. Do you risk it? Obviously, he's in the squad, but to start the game is a big ask. One that I think will be too big of a gamble. Maybe some minutes off the bench, yes, but it's a huge gamble. Then if you're bringing in Maguire at left centre-back, for argument's sake, I'm not comfortable with that, with the lack of mobility and the lack of pace on the side that Saka and Odegaard are operating most in. And then Dalot not being great at left wing back. I can just see there being a real big disconnect between Dalot and Harry Maguire if you play him there. Me personally, I'm looking to bring Mazraoui over to that side, left centre-back, because he's just comfortable playing anywhere. And you're going to have to play Maguire, aren't you? And that means between him and De Ligt, I say De Ligt's slightly more mobile than him, not by loads, but he's more mobile than Harry Maguire. I'd probably play De Ligt right centre-back and put Maguire in the centre. Maguire does like a bit of protection. He is good in a back three, to be fair. He's played some of his best football in his career in a back three, especially with England. So, you know, you're going to have to rely on him for that. But that weakens us. It strengthens us in terms of aerial duels. You know, you've got De Ligt and Maguire there, and Arsenal obviously great from set pieces, but they're going to get chances from set pieces anyway because they're just that flipping good at them. So, look, it's not great. You know, we've got a bit of a mismatch in the back four there, a back three, sorry, with players who haven't played in a while, and you're asking, you know, for a big demand from somebody, whether that's Yoro, whether it's Maguire, whether you play Casemiro in there, whether it's could we don't even know. Maybe Dalot gets played left centre back, and I don't know. He goes with like Anthony left wing back, or might give Malacia another game. I don't know. I think that's the least likely. But what I'm saying is you just can't rule things out with Ruben Amorim. We're still getting to know him, and he's still getting to know the players. Midfield is very interesting because I said, for me, Mason Mount's got to play this game. Mason Mount, for me, has to play. I think he's very, very important in what we're going to have to be good at today. And that is mobility and pressing, which Mason Mount can do. Keeping the ball and making good decisions with the ball, Mason Mount can do. And making runs off the ball. It's all very, very, very important if we want a result today against Arsenal. So, having said that, I think Rashford should also start. But I would want Rasmus Højlund to start up front as well. Me personally, I'd go Højlund up front. I'd go Rashford. I'd go Rashford and Mason Mount in them 2 10s. And then I would go Bruno and Ugarte in the 2 6 positions, or 8s, whatever you want to call them. The 2 midfield positions. That's what I would do. I think that might be probably over-adventurous. Maybe it will be. So I think he's probably likely to go Casemiro and Ugarte next to each other for that solidity. Bruno in one of the 10s. I do think Amorim likes Mason Mount, though. So I'm going to say Mason Mount still starts, and maybe he just puts Rashford up front for this game. Maybe he does. But you're looking at Gabriel and Saliba, and of course you know how strong they are. You need someone who's going to be willing to be physical with them, and that is Rasmus Højlund. Now, he's still got a lot of work to do in terms of how physical he can be there and wrestling defenders, and they could easily eat him up. But Rashford would pose them a different thing in terms of running in behind, but he wouldn't be able to hold the ball up. So it's different problems. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul. As soon as you say that you want to start this player, it gives a problem of this, and vice versa. So at the end of the day, I just want to see us go out there and give a good account of ourselves. Stick to the principles. Know when to press versus when not to. Know when to suffer and be compact and clear your lines and stay in the game for as long as possible. And take the game to Arsenal. Have some confidence. Play with a little bit of confidence. Play like a team that, wants to prove the new manager right and prove the fans wrong that these guys can't do it. Go and express yourselves. All the pressure's on Arsenal, which it is, but we're still Man United. We have to have some expectation that we're going there to win, and that's what Amorim did say. But he's not stupid. This could easily be a disastrous night. It could be. And if it is, we have to keep calm and we take our licks and we move on. But go and be proactive, Man United. Do not be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, little boys. Oh, we don't want to pass the ball and we don't want the ball. The lights are too bright. The pitch is too big. Nah, F all that. Give Arsenal a good game, because if we score early or if we put them under pressure, or the longer the game goes at 0-0, they start to get nervous. The assignment's very easy for Arsenal. They have to win this game or their season's over. So, we're trying to ignite our season and we could literally kill theirs, or what their aspirations are, which is to win the league. So, listen, go and be brave. Go and show some identity and go and show some courage, boys. And hopefully we can bring back a positive result. I've been saying 2-2 the whole week, and then I changed last night with Cecil and Pavs and went 2-1. And I said 2-1 this morning again. 2-1, 2-2. Well, I just want to win. Of course I do. But if we lose, I just don't want to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? There's ways to lose a football match, and we need to make sure if we do lose that it isn't an absolute drubbing. So yes, I will be at the Emirates. If you're there, come check us out. If you're not, tune into the match view loads of reaction there, full-time view as well. We'll get reaction from AFTV as well. It's going to be a busy, busy, long night. But hey, it is what it is. We've got to do this. I'm out of here. Peace.